Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
It was abruptly closed last week. Now tonight there's an investigation into how Beaumont Wayne has set up a makeshift morgue on its premises. Glad you're with us tonight at 11. When Beaumont Wayne temporarily closed last week, the hospital either redeployed or laid off all the staff.
Well, now the Wayne County Health Department and Sheriff's Department are investigating a makeshift morgue that's been set up at the hospital. Mara McDonald is live at the Wayne County Executive Offices tonight with more. Mara.
Kimberly, this all started yesterday when the Wayne County Health Division got a call saying that bodies were being inappropriately stored at Beaumont Wayne. This afternoon, the Wayne County Health Department and the Sheriff's Department were at Beaumont Wayne investigating the claim. After a dust-up this morning, sources tell us a health department inspector was denied access to the hospital and told to come back with a warrant. After numerous calls, I'm told the hospital backed down on the warrant request. Tonight, the county is officially saying this, quote, yesterday, the Wayne County Health Division received a report that Beaumont Wayne was storing dead bodies in a vacant building on its campus. Now, when the health department and the sheriff got on the premises today, quote, after being initially turned away by the hospital administrators today, county health inspectors were allowed access to the building and discovered a makeshift morgue in operation containing approximately 50 bodies. The question becomes, who authorized or licensed this, and does it meet county or state guidelines? Tonight, it's unclear. Quote, the Wayne County Health Division has launched an investigation to determine whether county health ordinances were violated by the hospital system. Beaumont, for its part, says it decided in early April to construct a temporary morgue and got permission from the city of Wayne. About the visit from the health department and the sheriff, tonight the hospital says, quote, today, without advance notice, without being able to explain their purpose, and without appropriately fitting PPE to protect themselves from the coronavirus, various individuals demanded entry into the warehouse. These individuals were later shown photographs of the temporary morgue setup. The purpose of their visit remains unclear. Back here live, Beaumont goes on to say that it is housing these bodies in a respectful manner. I will tell you, after discussions with Wayne County officials tonight, that they remain skeptical about this answer for the situation at Beaumont Wayne. We're live downtown tonight. I'm Mara McDonald. Back to you.
All right, Mara. Meanwhile, despite the load of COVID-19 patients, Beaumont Health is eliminating jobs and laying off people. The company cutting 450 jobs and temporarily laying off 2,500 employees. Most of the cuts are among corporate and administrative staff. Beaumont CEO John Fox taking a 70% pay cut, while other execs take a 45% cut. Fox says Beaumont lost $75 million in revenue from services that can't be offered during the pandemic.
We're going to be under this cloud for at least 2 years, probably longer, and we are financially hemorrhaging.
Fox says the layoffs are temporary and that employees will return when the patients do. Let's take a look at the latest numbers. They now show us 32,967 cases of COVID-19 in Michigan.
232 more deaths were reported in the past 24 hours. The state says the number is higher because it included 95 older deaths that just recently were attributed to coronavirus. With that number, there have been 2,700 people who have been killed by the virus here in Michigan. Well, with several states announcing plans to reopen their economies, tonight Governor Gretchen Whitmer appeared on MSNBC saying nail salons, massage parlors, and movie theaters will be some of the last businesses to reopen here in Michigan.
Those would be some of the last things to come online when we do start to re-engage sectors of our economy. As we're doing the analysis, it's a rigorous undertaking to make sure that we get this right, because I think if we can all agree on something unanimously, is that we don't want a second wave of COVID-19 to threaten our lives and threaten our healthcare institutions. And so the last things that come online are going to be the ones that are so intimately public-facing, especially if there's not the appropriate PPE available. And I don't know what the situation is in Georgia, but I know that we are grabbing every PPE we have for our first responders, for our nurses, for our doctors.
Right now, Governor Whitmer's stay-at-home order goes through the end of this month.
People trying to both file or collect unemployment are getting more and more desperate. The governor recently added 200 employees to help the system that, by her own admission, has just been overwhelmed. We bring in Jason Colthorpe, who spoke with people who've been looking for answers. Jason.
Any answers, Devin, any actual person to talk to. And as you just mentioned a moment ago, consider now we have 3,000 more people, Beaumont employees, that are going to possibly come into this system that's already swamped, and now that might slow things down even more. But tonight, those people looking for answers got a chance to hear from an actual person who works for the unemployment agency. Listen.
We call every day, get up in the morning.
I was on the phone for over 10 hours.
Try to beat the traffic.
Waiting for the unemployment.
You don't get no luck at all. You don't get no luck on the chat. You don't get no luck calling in.
Cannot get through. You always get knocked off.
Thousands and thousands of people that's in the same predicament we are.
Tori Maddox and Cheryl Mexico sound like a lot of Michiganders trying to collect unemployment.
The governor said that she had extra help, but where's the help at?
For somebody who says that there's over 200 employees that she added, that's crazy.
They both worked full time. Both have had problems filing their claims for more than a month. Tuesday night, they and many others were hoping for some answers from a teleconference with State Senator Lana Tice and an unemployment liaison.
She earns about $40,000 a year. Has been with me for 20-some years. So
that should not be the issue then. But then on Sunday, I got another text telling me I was denied.
It seems like at that point I was frozen in time.
Every question got an answer, but Tori says the forms to fill out or emails to write never get an answer in her case. And for her and Cheryl, every day matters.
Not having no money, no food, you got to ask people for help or, can I borrow? It's not good.
After this, I'm like a desperate woman. I don't know if I have to, like I said, if I had to go down there and beg, I would. If there was a line, I would have stood in it.
Yeah, overall, Cheryl and Tori told me they were pretty disappointed in that teleconference, basically because of all the problems discussed. Many of them were just scratching the surface of things they've dealt with, and listening in, certainly no one on that call sounded nearly as desperate as Cheryl and Tori do. Devin?
Well, and I'm wondering how common are the problems that people are running into?
There are so many, and they all sort of differ in little ways, but there are some commonalities, Devin. A lot of them have to do with logins or accounts being frozen, and they actually address that. There's an actual email address people can write to. It goes right to the IT guys with the state to handle that issue. It's a long, complicated email address, but if you go to clickondetroit.com, click on this story, we've embedded it with that, and you can get an answer. But of course, it does come with the caveat we've heard many times. There is a backlog. Yeah. Devin?
Big one. All right, Jason. Kim?
Yeah. Well, to Washington now, where Congress has agreed on a second small business rescue package. And as coronavirus cases top 800,000 nationwide, governors continue to grapple with when to reopen their economies. Susan McGinnis has the latest.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
A big bill for small business. The Senate passing a near $500 billion rescue package expected to be passed by the House and signed by the president before week's end.
A great victory for the American people, but we certainly need to do more.
And after evidence some big companies cashed in on the bailout, the White House threatening consequences.
And the intent of this money was not for big public companies.
With Americans sharply divided on when and how to reopen, White House health experts warn the risks are still evident.
We will continue to see mortality and deaths as they begin to move past peak because deaths will lag.
New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, whose state has been hardest hit, went to the White House to personally ask the president for help with testing.
Let's just coordinate who does what.
The president defending the governors of Georgia and South Carolina who seem to be ignoring the latest White House guidelines as they reopen parts of their states by the end of the week.
They're going to be doing it safely. They're going to be doing it with tremendous passion.
Also tonight, the president says he's pressing ahead with an executive order banning immigration into the U.S. for 60 days and targeting people seeking green cards.
I want the American worker and our American citizens to be able to get jobs. I don't want them to compete right now.
The president offering few details, saying the plan is still being written by White House lawyers and that it could be signed as early as tomorrow.
Susan McGinnis, Local 4.
Developing tonight on Detroit's east side, crews working to safely remove this large box truck that is hanging off the overpass at I-94 and Connors. Still, as you might expect, a large police presence at the scene. We await word as to what caused the truck to go off the bridge, but the investigation and the work continues.
All right, well, it was not a very pleasant spring day. We did get a little bit of sunshine, but Ben, you're now tracking temperatures in the 20s and even maybe a little more snow?
Yeah. In fact, Kim, those numbers tomorrow morning within 3 degrees of the record for this date. And at least the good news is that's as cold as it's going to get, this forecast, and everything comes up from there. But here's a look at some of the snow showers and rain showers that are out to our west right now. You can see our next system. We will be seeing mostly snow by the time that stuff gets here about midday tomorrow. But in between the clear skies tonight, really allowing those temperatures to drop. So we're looking at 20s to start. And then those numbers come up to the 30s by the time we get closer to 8 a.m. with the help of at least some early sun. But you can see that once we get past the noon hour, that's when we're going to start to see some snow. And then eventually that is going to turn to rain as we get a little bit later. Some of the temperatures in the upper parts of the atmosphere warm up just a little bit in the evening. Coming up, we'll talk more rain chances, a milder weekend. And if we can finally get some 60s in here as May approaches, wouldn't that be nice? All those answers in a few minutes, guys.
We await. All right, Ben. Still ahead, it has been touted by some as the key treatment to stop the coronavirus. New tonight, what a study reveals about the effectiveness of hydroxychloroquine against COVID-19. Tim.
There's a few small downtown communities around southeast Michigan. Downtown Rochester's one, Plymouth is another, and they're all on the edge.
We're going to do everything we can to try and save every single business because every one of them is part of our downtown family.
We crisscross southeast Michigan this evening, find out what the civic leaders are doing to help these small downtowns.